Hello. Lesson 7.3 is long division and synthetic division, and for today, we are just doing long division. We'll deal with synthetic on Monday in that video. So vocabulary. Basically, if we think of 16 divided by 5, and we'll be dividing polynomials shortly, but technically 16 is called the dividend, 5 is called the divisor. If we divide and we're thinking 5 times what equals 16, 5 times 3 equals 15. Then we subtract and get 1. This 1 is our remainder. And this 3 is our quotient. I'll be honest, dividend and divisor, I pretty much always get confused, but that's all right. So if you get confused, that's okay too. It's not too important. So now, let's do a long division problem with arithmetic just to kind of see the steps. So if we're doing 816 divided by 8, the first thing we do is divide the leading numbers. So meaning 8 times what is going to be the closest to, or I'm sorry, 8 times what equals 8. 8 times 1 equals 8 exactly. So we subtract. 8 minus 8 is 0. Bring down a 1. And then 8 times what equals 1? Well, nothing. So 8 times 0 equals 0. Subtract. And then bring down a 6. 8 times what equals 16? 8 times 2 equals 16. So we're done. Long division with polynomials is very much the same, except obviously it's not numbers, it's polynomials. I don't know why that set of arrows is staying there. That's all right. Maybe if I'll start writing, it'll go away. So polynomials, big thing, line up your like terms. That will help a lot to ensure you make hopefully no mistakes, but at least fewer mistakes. So if we have x cubed plus x squared minus 5x minus 2 divided by x minus 2. Okay, so we divide our leading numbers. So that's x and x cubed. And basically, x times what equals, how can I do this? Okay, x times what equals x cubed? Well, x times x squared equals x cubed. But here's the key. The x squared goes above the x squared. Okay, x times x squared is x cubed. Negative 2 times x squared is negative 2x squared. If you'll notice, the x cubes are lined up and all the x squareds are lined up. Very, very important. And so then we subtract those first x cubed minus x cubed is 0. X squared minus a negative 2x squared is 3x squared. And then we actually bring everything down right now. Negative 5x, negative 2. Same idea again. Now x times what equals 3x squared. Well, x times 3 is 3x squared. That's not true. X times 3x is 3x squared. So we put a plus 3x up here. X times 3x is 3x squared. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. So that goes under the x's. And then we subtract. Negative, these go away. Negative 5 minus negative 6 is a positive x. Bring down my minus 2. Nope, I'm erasing more than I need to. Sorry about that. So now the final piece, x times what equals x? 1. So we put a plus 1. X times 1 is x. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And now if we subtract, x minus x is 0, negative 2 minus negative 2 is 0. So there's no remainder. So that our answer is x squared plus 3x plus 1. So now we're going to do some dividing. So let's do this one here. So x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9. And we'll divide by x plus 3. So first, x times what equals x cubed? X squared, except look, I just almost put it in the wrong spot. X times x squared is x cubed. And then 3 times x squared is 3x squared, so it goes underneath the x squareds. Draw a line, subtract. 5x squared minus 3x squared is 2x squared. Bring this down. 6x plus 9. So then x times what equals 2x squared? 2x. So x times 2x is 2x squared. 3 times 2x is 6x. And again, everything's lined up. So then we subtract. We have 9. And now we say, well, x times what equals 9? Well, nothing, right? So that doesn't work. So then we actually just have our answer because that's our remainder right there. 9's our remainder. So then our answer is x squared plus 2x plus 9 over x plus 3, because you couldn't actually multiply the x plus 3 to get 9, so it's just 9 out of that for our answer. Let's see, I would like, you know what? No, I'm just going to show you. You're welcome to pause and try on your own and come back, but I'm just going to show all of them, okay? Obviously, because with the video, you can kind of do it how you want. So for this one, x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6 divided by x squared. You know what? I'm going to write smaller and change colors. Okay. X cubed, sorry about that, minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6 divided by x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, first step, x squared times what equals x cubed? Well, x squared times x is x cubed. So we have to go all the way over to where the x's are. So x squared times x is x cubed. Sorry, I'm changing colors to try to make this up, but then I get confused. I confuse myself. Negative 4x times x is negative 4x squared. And 3 times x is 3x. So we subtract. Negative 6 minus negative 4 is negative 2. 11x minus 3x is 8x. And we'll bring down our negative 6. So now we want to know x squared times what equals negative 2x squared. And that's going to be negative 2. So we'll put a negative 2 up here. So x squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Negative 4x times negative 2 is a positive 8x. And 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. If we subtract, everything's gone. We have a remainder of 0. So our answer is just x minus 2. And keep in mind what this means is if you multiplied x minus 2 times x squared minus 4x plus 3, you would get x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. Couple more. All right. So 8x cubed plus 27 divided by 2x plus 3. You need placeholder zeros. Meaning, if you see 8x cubed plus 27, we don't have an x squared or an x term, but we need to put a place for one since we're dividing. So we will do 8x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x, because there's no x squared or x term, we need places, plus 27 divided by 2x plus 3. So 2x times what equals 8x cubed? That's going to be 4x squared. So 4x squared goes there, and then 2x times 4x squared is 8x cubed. 3 times 4x squared is 12x squared. And so this is why we needed that placeholder, because otherwise when we got 12x squared, like where would it go, right? There would be nowhere to put it. So now we'll subtract. Negative 12x squared will bring down our 0x and our 27. And so now I want to know 2x times what equals negative 12x squared? And that is negative, oops, wrong color. See, maybe it's not difficult, but it's difficult for me. So 2x times negative 6x is negative 12x squared. 3 times negative 6x is negative 18x. And then we subtract. 0 minus a negative 18 is 18x plus 27. Now we want to know 2x times what equals 18x, and that's going to be 9. So we can put a plus 9 up here. And then 2x times 9 is 18x. And then 3 times 9 is 27. Oops. Then we subtract, and we get no remainder. So our answer is 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay. One more that I will show you. I know me and my colors. Okay. So 16x to the fourth minus 85 divided by 4x squared plus 9. So we definitely need our placeholders. So 16x to the fourth plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared, that's a lot of placeholders, plus 0x minus 85 divided by 4x squared plus 9. And we're not putting anything over there on the left with the divisor. I'm going to cheat and go back and look. Divisor. We're not putting anything over there with the divisor. And I know I use the word cheating, but if you're cheating when you're taking notes, that's an okay thing, right? We're not taking a test right now. Okay, so we don't need a placeholder in over here with 4x squared plus 9 because we're not putting anything there. So now 4x squared times what equals 16x to the fourth? And that's going to be 4x squared again. So another 4x squared. So we'll put it on top of the x squared. And then 4x squared times 4x squared is 16x to the fourth. And 9 times 4x squared is 36x squared. So we have to put it over here by the x squared. And then we can subtract the x cubed. Now we can leave it alone. It's not holding a place for anything anymore. 0 minus 36, negative 36x squared. This is still holding a place, so we keep it. Minus 85. And by holding a place, I mean it's between the x squared term and just the constant term. So now 4x squared times what equals negative 36x squared. And that's going to be negative 9, so it goes above the numbers. So then 4x squared times negative 9 is negative 36x squared. And 9 times 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. Then we subtract, those cancel. Negative 85 minus a negative 81 is a negative 4. So our answer is 4x squared minus 9 plus negative 4 over 4x squared plus 9. You could have also said 4x squared minus 9 minus 4 over 4x squared plus 9, and that would have been fine as well. Tomorrow we will do synthetic division, so please only do the first part of the homework where you're asked to do long division.